Imagine a secret, etched deep into stone. Down in Tamil Nadu, there's the 7th century temple, and it lines up with the equinox sun perfectly, not by chance, with almost impossible precision.
Hmm.
Then, over in Karnataka, you find these pillars, and if you strike them gently, they hum actual musical notes.
Like distinct notes.
And maybe strangest of all, across India, countless ancient shrines, they all quietly align along this mysterious 79-degree axis. It's consistent.
Yeah, that's a fascinating thread.
So tonight, we're starting a journey, a deep dive, into this question that just echoes through time. Were these ancient builders just architects working with stone?
Or something more.
Exactly. Were they more like cosmic cartographers, mapping the universe itself onto the land? Our mission here is to try and decode these stone-shattering secrets, the knowledge locked inside these temples.
It really is compelling, isn't it? Because these structures, they go way beyond just, building something. They feel like, vast repositories of knowledge.
An embedded knowledge.
Embedded knowledge, exactly. Astronomy, acoustics, maths, even really deep spiritual understanding. These specific alignments, these properties,
Yeah.
they aren't just for looks or, simple symbolism.
No.
They speak to a really deep, sophisticated grasp of the natural world, of the cosmos. It's like a whole civilization chose to pour its most advanced insights right into its most sacred spaces, the ones meant to last.
Okay, let's start to unpack this. Our first stop. We could call them the solar sentinels. These incredible structures built to track the sun so precisely. Think about the Konark Sun Temple, Odisha, built around, 1250 CE?
Roughly, yes. Mid-13th century.
It's just majestic, and it has these 24 huge stone wheels, colossal. Now, these aren't just decoration.
No, far from it.
They actually function as this enormous, incredibly accurate sundial. The spokes cast shadows, and they mark time. Not just vaguely, but down to 3-minute intervals.
Which is just astonishing for the scale and the materials.
And here's where it gets even more mysterious. During the equinoxes, the very first light of dawn, it strikes the main sanctum, right on the deity's forehead, illuminates it. It must have been ethereal.
Absolutely. And it sounds like magic, or maybe just luck, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not. As archaeoastronomer Dr. R.N. Iyengar observed, he put it really well. Karnak's alignment isn't symbolic. It's celestial engineering.
Celestial engineering. I like that.
The level of scientific accuracy is remarkable. They tracked solstices with, get this, 0.5-degree accuracy, half a degree.
Half a degree, to put that in perspective.
Okay, imagine trying to hit the exact center of a target
Yeah.
from 5 kilometers away.
Wow. Okay.
That's the kind of precision we're talking about, just woven right into the stone, an incredible understanding of the heavens.
Without modern instruments, achieving that, it seems almost impossible. What techniques could they possibly have used?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We don't have the instruction manual, sadly, but the evidence points to centuries of just painstaking observation.
Looking up.
Exactly. Maybe using sophisticated tools like gnomons, those ancient sundial pointers, and just keeping meticulous records generation after generation.
So refining it over time.
Yeah, refining the designs,
Yeah.
applying this sort of iterative engineering process. You can almost picture generations of sky watchers passing down their data, building on what came before. It really paints a picture of a society deeply, deeply committed to understanding how the heavens moved.
Okay, so from Konark on the east coast, let's travel west, to Gujarat, the Modhera Sun Temple. Earlier, right, and in 26 CE.
Correct, early 11th century.
And here you find the Surya Kund, this magnificent stepwell. But again, it's not just for water.
No, it's doing double duty.
It's another astronomical instrument. On the summer solstice, something incredible happens. The sunlight doesn't just hit the sanctum directly. It reflects off its 108 shrines, these little carved shrines all around it.
108 of them.
And it creates this cascade of light, bathing the center in what someone described as liquid gold.
That number, 108, it's definitely not random. As historian Dr. Meera Das points out, it's seen as a kind of cosmic number.
How so?
Well, one common interpretation is it represents the approximate ratio of the distance to the sun and moon from Earth in terms of their respective diameters.
Huh. Interesting.
But it goes deeper. You find 108 everywhere in ancient traditions. 108 beads on a mala for prayer.
Right.
108 nadis, or energy lines, converging at the heart chakra in Ayurveda. Some even count 108 chapters in the Rig Veda.
Yeah.
It pops up again and again. It suggests this sort of shared, deep understanding of cosmic harmony.
So it's more than just a number for calculation.
Exactly. It's symbolic of a whole worldview. So when Dr. Das says this temple is a prayer in geometry, she means they were literally building their philosophy, their understanding of the cosmos, right into the architecture. It's a key to how they saw the universe connected, harmonious.
Okay, so we've seen how they tracked the sun with incredible care, these cosmic cartographers. But, the moon has its own dance, just as precise.
Absolutely, just as complex in some ways.
So this next part, let's call it the lunar labyrinths, where moonlight becomes the guide, revealing even more understanding. Imagine the Udayagiri caves, way back, 2nd century BCE.
Very ancient, yes.
Inside, there's this tunnel, Udayabug. Now, on specific full moon nights, something amazing happens. Moonlight doesn't just flood the entrance, it seems to. Well, the description is it slithers about 40 meters deep into the rock.
40 meters through carved stone.
To light up one specific carving, Vishnu.
And again, this isn't just some nice story or folklore. Archaeologist Dr. K.K. Mohammed, he investigated this thoroughly, measured it. He says, flat out, this isn't folklore, we've measured it.
The measurements back it up.
They do. The precision is, again, it's astounding the angle that light takes. It matches the lunar declination data, the moon's position relative to the equator from 200 BCE.
200 BCE.
Yeah, it means they knew the moon's complex movements, things we've maybe forgotten or are only now rediscovering with modern tech.
That level of accuracy back then, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else did they know? What knowledge just slipped away? It's quite humbling, really.
It is. And if that's not enough, let's look at the Brihadiswar Temple, Chola era. Massive structure.
The big one in Thanjavur.
That's the one. Its main tower, the Vimana, stands at an exact 79 degrees east alignment. Now, during these rare events called lunar standstills, when the moon reaches its extreme points in its cycle, moonlight hits the gold capstone way up top and seems to ricochet down, pinpoint accuracy, to strike a hidden Shiva lingam deep inside.
That 79-degree axis again, you mentioned it earlier, it keeps coming up. Kedarnath, Ramaswaram, what's the significance there?
Right, it's not a coincidence. Physicist and historian Dr. Suhas Kak calls it the sacred meridian. His idea is that temples built exactly on this line of longitude, like Kedarnath, Ramaswaram, and others. They're not just sitting there.
They're doing something.
He suggests they amplify energy, like tuning forks, that they're somehow pulsing on this longitude, resonating maybe with the Earth's own energy fields or cosmic alignments. It points towards this idea of a huge, interconnected grid of sacred sites, all deliberately placed.
A grid designed to harness unseen energies. That's a pretty mind-blowing concept. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. From these vast alignments in the sky to something you can almost touch and hear. The sonic sorcery in the stone itself.
Ah, yes, the acoustic marvels, equally baffling in their own way.
Think about the Vittala Temple in Hampi. It has these 56 pillars, the musical pillars, and they really seem to, well, defy physics as we normally think of it.
They certainly challenge our assumptions.
You gently strike one pillar, just one, and it rings with a clear musical note. A sa or C, maybe a or D. But here's the kicker. Play them together in sequence. And they can actually play entire ragas, complex Indian musical scales.
It's incredible to witness, and the science behind it. It hints at something revolutionary. Acoustics engineer Dr. S.S. Iyengar did tests. He found that each pillar contains density gradients.
Density gradients, meaning the stone isn't uniform inside.
Exactly. It's not just about the outer shape. It's as if the internal structure was engineered. Denser here, less dense there, like how a modern violin is crafted to vibrate just right.
Okay.
And Dr. Iyengar's conclusion was astonishing. He said they weren't just carved, but somehow grown like crystals to resonate at exact frequencies.
Grown like crystals? What does that even mean?
It implies a level of control over the material itself that's hard to fathom. He even used the phrase nanotechnology in granite, an understanding of material science that just seems millennia ahead of its time. It's engineering bordering on magic.
Nanotechnology in granite, that's... Yeah. Wow. What exactly did his tests show to support that? How could they grow stone?
Well, his analysis involved looking at the microstructure, sonic testing, mapping the insides. He found these tiny variations in how the crystals aligned, the composition, suggesting it wasn't just chipping away stone.
So not just carving.
No, it points to either some lost technique for treating the granite as it formed, maybe, or a super sophisticated multi-stage process of shaping and manipulating the material, literally tuning the stone from the inside out. It really makes you rethink what ancient material science could achieve.
Okay, the sonic journey continues. Let's go to the Meenakshi Temple, the famous Hall of 1,000 Pillars.
Another architectural wonder.
This place acts like a giant whispering gallery. You can stand at the western end, murmur something, a prayer, even a quiet word,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be heard clearly way over at the eastern sanctum, 60 meters away, like the air itself carries your voice through the stone.
The secret there is pure architectural genius, a deep understanding of sound. They used parabolic ceilings and silica-rich stone that bounce sound like fiber optics.
Parabolic ceilings, like a satellite dish focusing signals.
Precisely. Those curves focus and direct the sound waves incredibly efficiently. And the stone itself, being rich in silica, helps carry the sound waves with minimal loss, like an ancient form of fiber optics.
So they weren't guessing.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
They understood wave propagation, they understood materials, they manipulated sound to create this immersive, almost magical auditory experience. It's brilliant sound engineering from centuries ago.
All right, so incredible alignments with the sun and moon. Mind-bending material science making stones sing. Astonishing acoustics. It all leads back to the big question, who? Who designed these marvels? Who had this knowledge?
Mm-hmm. The ultimate question.
Part of the answer seems to lie in texts called the Shilpa Shastras, ancient Sanskrit texts. Basically blueprints for sacred building.
Yes, these were incredibly detailed architectural treatises. They laid out the mathematical ratios, the geometric principles that had to be used meticulously.
What kind of principles?
Well, for instance, using the square root of 2, that's added 2 for the dimensions of the inner sanctums, the holiest parts.
Why the square root of 2?
It was understood to represent a fundamental transition from chaos to order, a principle of creation itself. Then there's the golden ratio, about 1.61 in a, used everywhere for harmonic proportions, for beauty and balance.
Right, that in perfect proportion.
And of course, that 79-degree alignment we keep mentioning for that geocosmic connection. Dr. Konark traces this all the way back to the ancient Vedic fire altars. He says temples are 3D mandalas.
3D mandalas.
Yeah.
He explains how, the 360 stones used around those ancient Vedic altars, they conceptually became the walls of the temples. It's like the cosmos itself was their design tool, their CAD software, you could say.
The cosmos' CAD software. That's quite an image. But it brings us to this really profound, almost unsettling point. Are all these things, the alignments, the acoustics, the math, just amazing coincidences, maybe the result of centuries of trial and error?
Or is it calculation? Or does it point to actual calculated knowledge? Far beyond what we usually think ancient people knew.
Yeah.
I mean, look at some other examples. Kedarnath Temple, high in the Himalayas, 79.06 degrees east. It doesn't just align with that sacred axis.
No.
It also aligns perfectly with the solstice sunrise over Mount Kailash.
Right. And then you have Ramanatha Swami Temple down south. It's huge corridors. They're apparently designed to perfectly frame the planet Venus's 8-year cycle, as seen from that exact spot.
With an 8-year cycle framed in stone corridors.
Or the Nataraja temple pillars in Chidambaram, said to vibrate at 432 hertz. A frequency some researchers call the cosmic frequency, linked to things like DNA resonance, natural harmonics. These aren't just isolated quirks.
But the skeptics, they have a point too, right? Like the astrophysicist Dr. Jayant Narlikar. He asks, reasonably, fine-tuning exists, but correlation isn't causation. Where's the blueprint?
And that's the crucial scientific challenge. Show us the undeniable proof of intent. Show us exactly how they knew and did all this. It's a fair question.
It is.
Yet, the counter-argument is also strong. Dr. Kessler's research, for example, he points over to Angkor Wat in Cambodia, the bas-reliefs there. They've been shown to encode planetary positions from a specific date, 1131 CE.
Encoded star charts, basically.
Exactly. That's not chance. That's deliberate encoding, a celestial record in stone. And it leads Dr. Kessler to state it very forcefully. These builders didn't guess. They computed.
They computed.
Had a system, a profound knowledge of cosmology, of engineering, allowing them to literally map the heavens onto the earth, leaving us these incredible silent monuments to a wisdom we've perhaps forgotten.
So maybe the stones aren't sacred just because people believe gods lived there. Maybe they're sacred because they remember the sky.
An interesting thought.
Built as this enduring testament to an ancient wisdom that mapped the cosmos onto the earth. A wisdom that still seems to whisper through the stone today, inviting us, really, to think about what they truly knew and what mysteries are still locked inside, waiting.